What's good with the YouTube? You already know. Big Flacco from a convict's perspective, man. And as always, man, I got this, Chango joining the panel, man. About to give you another story, man. We were discussing something, man, and he brought up something that was very interesting when he was placed in an undercover role to go commit a certain pegada. Now, I'm going to let him go into details. It kind of has a lot to do where it went from Angel Spencer to San Quentin and so forth. I'll let him give you the details of this, but this is a crazy story, man. Chango, how you doing?
Good, good. How about yourself, bro? Everything good?
Man, I'm doing the best I can, man, day by day. You know?
Okay. Hey, can you hear me good, bro?
I can hear you perfect, brother.
Okay. Because I know there's little discrepancies about that they can't hear or this and that. You know what I mean? I can hear you good. I can hear you louder than you can hear me, I guess. You know? All right. As long as everything's good on that. You know?
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you take it from here, brother.
Okay. Well, listen. I was sent to San Quentin when I was coming back from court. You know, going back to Pelican Bay, and there was a situation with a guy named Coronado. You know, his name's Reaper, and a lot of homeboys from San Jose know the situation. He ended up getting hit in the county jail by Leo Cano. And if I'm not mistaken, little Baby Jess assisted on that too, on one of the floors in the Santa Clara County Jail. Well, when I got to East Block, I forgot what tier I was on, but I know there was a lot of homeboys at that time. And, you know, there was Canales and a lot of bros. And right there, it was popping right there. And a couple doors down, I had Green Eyes, Del Jesus from Salinas. He was active at the time. And he shoots me a kite. And, you know, right when I got here, let me rephrase that. When I got on the TV, he got at me, and you know how they have to clear your name and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I was over here doing things, and like I said, I got myself involved, and I guess, and he tells me, "Hey, bro, you know, there's a wheeler for you, and you know, I got to run the name, but it wasn't that I had to clear my name. He wants me to go out to the yard. You know, everybody knows when you go out to East Block on the 6th yard, you have to go to classification and all that, 10 days, and you know, you go to talk to committee. Well, you know, I'm thinking I'm going to go out to the 6th yard and all that, and right at the same time, when I get the wheeler, it says, "Hey, bro, listen, man, we got a situation. You know, you got Reaper from Fresno. You know, he's a bulldog. And there's been situations already. We try to hit this dude. We send people out there, and they block the hit. You know, they're not experienced or whatever. You know what I mean? They went over there and they got smashed. You know? And I said, okay, so what do you want me to do? He said, listen, the fella said, hey, go out to the PC yard. And I said, what? What? And go out there and what? PC up? He said, yeah, you know, try to, you know, make an example out of him. I said, man, well, whatever. I think right on the bottom of me was Danny Nichols.
Oh, from San
As I remember. Yeah, from San Jose, you know, the homeboy. And I remember I was, you know, at the right then and there, I was talking to him, and I think Wino Perez was right there. Remember, there was a lot of homeboys, but remember, I'm not clear yet, but I'm not knowing, but, you know, Danny shoots me a wheeler and all that. And I think Z-Pop was there. I don't know if Mateo was. Man, there was a lot of homeboys there. You know what I mean? On the East Block at the time. So I didn't get the chance to get, information. So, I think Carlitos was there from Chango. That's a good ass homeboy. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, me and Carlitos, when we were in Pelican Bay, when I went back to Pelican, from the court, I went to Pelican Bay after this happened. The story I'm going to tell you, we used to commute when I got over there with Tibbs and them, and I was communicating with, because back then we had the law library, and they used to, man, it was crazy because they had us all communicating from B facility to C facility, but then they broke it up, and then we were going from, just our C facility, and then they broke that up, and then it was just your block. Anyhow, we used to do correspondent legal mail, so I was in contact doing legal mail from my block with Conejo, James Perez. And then after we're done, you do another 90 days. So I was communicating with me and Carlitos all the time for 90 days. So anyhow, back to the story. I go into, I went to a committee, and they were like, hey, Mr. Zavala, remember, I'm not classified as a NF member. I'm classified as an armed member. So, validated. So, committee says, hey, well, you're clear. We're going to put you on the 6 yard and so forth. And I was like, so I look at him and I tell him, hey, now I got a problem. He said, what do you mean? I said, I can't go to the 6 yard. Well, why not? I said, well, I'm in bad standings. Bad standings? What do you mean how you in bad standings? Well, it says right here that, so it was not a Miranda, but earlier I was talking about Miranda being the gang coordinator, IGI. There was another guy, his name's Wells.
Mm-hmm.
It was them two. They were together. It was them two, and we call them the Kukui.
Wells was Africano, right?
The Kukui. Huh?
Wells was an Africano?
No. That's no. The Africano was the big guy. He's like 6 something. That dude was sharp too. His name was Brocklin or I forgot his name, but no. Wells was short. The short. He was a short dude like my height. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was chubby. He was chubby. You know what I mean? He needed to do a couple burpees. You know what I mean? He needed a couple of burpees in his life. But anyhow, he was in the room, and one of the committee guys says, "Now you're clear to go." I said, "No. Listen, here, I'm gonna tell you the situation, man. It should be right there. Look, I had a situation in the county, and I hit Angel Spencer, and they were looking and said, yeah, well, we haven't had nothing yet. I said, listen, man, Angel Spencer is related to Silencio, Lopez, and they're saying that it was a wrong hit, this and that. So I'm just running all this game, and so he said, man, I don't know. So one of the ladies, one of the community ladies says, man, are you sure about this? And then the tall Gawacho, committee, he says, man, this is fishy, and he's cussing. I don't know, man. I said, well, listen, I'm telling you, man, well, we're going to have to do on a walk-along. I said, walk-along? We don't have walk-alongs here. We got yards. We got 6 yards, and we have 5 yards, and all that. Actually, it'd be on the 6 yard anyways, the PC yard. That's what you guys want to do. So, Wells grabs me, and I'm cuffed up. You know how they sit us on the chair and they cuff you up? Mm-hmm. So he gets me, body slams, he takes me down to the floor, and he goes, hey, Zavala, you better on your fucking bullshit. And they're all cussing at me, and I'm, back then I was, I used to cuss, and so I'm like, hey, what the fuck? Get the fuck off me, man, and he picks me up. Him and the other CO, I forgot his name. They both picked me up, and then they said, now we're gonna have to check this out. So at the same time, I guess, so they take me back to my cell, and so I guess whoever was in charge, whatever canales were there, because there's canales there. There's right there, the canales are running the show, and they put a filter out on the tier that I was no good, that they, I guess, IGI investigated, and then they filtered, filtered it out, saying that I was no good and this and that. I guess I don't know how they did it, but they brought me back to committee. They said, yeah, I'm going on to the PC yard. So they let me go. They let me go. So you remember, I'm communicating only with Green Eyes. So Green Eyes, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I told him, hey, Bo. I ran the filter to him. I ran what happened. I guess he filtered it to whoever he had to his channel. Whoever was running the yard. And this wasn't. Not everybody knew this. This was a need to know basis. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so Green Eyes tells me, hey, listen, how you want to do this? This is what we're going to do. We're going to put a piece on the yard. I said, that's fine. You know what I mean? And then he comes back to me and he's like, hey, now check this out. We're going to give you some razors. I said, razors? I'm like, man, I don't really want to deal with razors, bro. You know what I mean? The dude already got sliced, I think. You know what I mean? And I don't feel comfortable with that. He's like, man, just go out there and handle your business, man. I said, all right. So the first yard, I go out, man. Listen, man. Right before they open the doors, they're running the yard, and I guess they start from the bottom or the top, vice versa, whatever, to go out to the yard. I was like, I felt embarrassed. I felt, because then I was prideful, bro. I was like, man, I'm not going to go out to this PC yard, man. But I have to, Then, I start pumping myself up. It's for the betterment. And, I start thinking about a lot of situations, like, well, I'm not even looking for recognition or nothing, you know what I mean? I'm not looking at, like, oh, yeah, this is going to get my chance. None of that. I'm just like, I'm going to just do it, man. Not that I was scared. It's just going out, PC. I'm not even PC, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I go out there, and Reaper, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. At the time, bro, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna go in character, bro. I'm not gonna, front with you guys. He's a straight dick. You know what I mean? His attitude, man. The way he talks, bro. Like he's some big old. The dude's big. You know what I mean? He's in good shape and everything. You know what I mean? But he's just a loudmouth, man. Like me, bro, the way I was schooled out, I wasn't never a loudmouth, you know what I mean? I clown around sometimes with the homies, talk crap amongst us, but I was never loud and boisterous, you know what I mean? Or, but his teachings, man, it was just like, I was able to get a full picture of how, generous, how them dudes think, man, that were against, the organization, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I got to get full knowledge of the thoughts, the mentality, right? And then I was like, man, I knew why people just despise dudes like this, you know what I mean? That go against the grain, you know what I mean? So, and at the time, bro, I had a ponytail, you know what I mean? Just a Mongolian, you know what I mean? Representing, that Northern Warrior, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I also had that Northern Warrior, just like my homeboy Chuchi, you know what I mean? He's from the east side, Jesse, and a lot of homeboys knew him. But he had a big old Northern Warrior on his back. Anyhow, I go out to the yard, and I guess the administration, you know, IGI and them, already hollered at Rico. I mean, not Rico. Reaper. Reaper is like the main one on the yard. You know, he's in communication with IGI, and you know, and they're saying every time he goes out to the cages to go out, he's always running his mouth, you know, and talking to about the homies and so forth, you know. So he comes to me, he's all, hey, what's up? Your name's Chango, right? You from Chango? I said, yeah. So he rushes me. There's another homeboy. There's a homeboy. I don't remember all the homeboys. There was another homeboy. He's from Fresno, but he got busted in Sanjo. I forgot his name, but he had a big old bulldog on him. And he used to piss me off because he'd be like, even though they're PC, they're still gangbanging, you know, they're still, you know, jet tripping. He's like, hey, bro, you know, I'm cold, you know, I got that fur on. He looked like I'm glad I got my fur on. You know how the bulldogs talk all that nonsense? They got all that tattoo stuff on them, you know what I mean? The chains on them and all, you know, the bulldog. Now, let you know, I'm not tripping on that. I'm talking about back then. You know what I mean? I was tripping. Now, you can have all that. So, it was him. I forgot the dude's name. And there was Sting from Greenfield. Now, he used to be an ex-hermano. So, they jammed me. You know, Sting was cool, man. You know, under the circumstances, he was a good dude, man. You know, and Reaper, man, all he did is run his mouth. He trying to dictate my program, you know what I mean? This is how we do it on this yard and this and that. And he's just talking heavy. So now it's just pumping me up more. You know what I mean? I'm looking at him, every time I look at his face, I'm like, man, I'm going to get this dude. You know what I mean? And I'm just tired, you know? So, what's his name? Reaper tells me, hey, Chango, you know, you're all good, man. I said, yeah, well, you know, he tells me, what was the situation? So I ran the whole situation to him, the whole thing with Angel and, you know, and he goes, yeah, so I started talking crap. You know, I got into character. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, fuck these vatos, you know what I mean? Fuck the NF, fucking the NR, blah, blah, blah. I mean, man, this dude's, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of you guys know me, man. I can shoot the shit. You know what I mean? I got a good mouthpiece. I can move the crowd. You know what I mean? I've had, you know, even when I had the 6-yard, I had the whole 6-yard, how people, I had the hermanos, you know what I mean? The way I used to talk, you know, I was very convincing. Well, man, I was right there with this dude, man. He thought he was my best friend, man. I'm talking about every time we went out to the yard. So, like, to take the 2nd yard, he says, hey, bro, now I'm his best friend. He's telling me, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, man, you know, we don't play that shit on this yard. So all them fucking putos, you know what I mean, tapetes and all that, they got, you know, you got to take cut your ponytail off. And I was like, you motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know, take my ponytail, man. I said, all right, man. We got the clippers. Shaved my head, bro. He cut my ponytail off. Bro, inside I was so furious, man. You couldn't even imagine, you know what I mean? I'm like, so each time information I got, I filtered it to Green Eyes. We even had a code on the tier because even look, I had my neighbor on the right side. He was a Jama. His name was Akili.
Oh, I know Akili. I know Akili. Richie Rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
good.
he's older. He was old back then. He was an older cat. Now he's real older. You know what I mean?
He was cool as fuck right there, man.
Yeah. So Akili. So remember, I don't know if you know this, bro, but I play chess, bro, and I'm real good. I've been playing chess since I was a kid. You know, the first thing my mother gave me when I was a kid was, you know, a chessboard. I think I was like 6 or 7. You know, always trying to play. You know, and I play with one of my cousins named Kiko. you know. And when he was older, he used to whoop me and all that, but I never gave up. And then I ended up playing, you know, with my cousin Ed. We start playing and playing and playing, and then his dad, my uncle, I was telling you earlier about, you know, he slammed heroin. And anyhow, we started playing chess, but being that I was no good, he couldn't. So he would tell me, hey, and then I exposed to him. I don't know how it came out, but we're shooting wheels to each other. Remember, he's on the 6-yard, our Keely is, and he was like, hey, Chang, just to let you know, man, I know your situation, man. You know? I said, I told him, hey, bro, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you know, you know, bro. And I was tripping out, like, I didn't mean to trip what he was telling me, but I didn't want to expose anything because, you know, I'm undercover to, you know, do this, you know, G14 classified, I guess you would say, you know. And so anyhow, even it got to the point where me and Green Eyes, we wouldn't even talk on the tier because there was another homeboy, man. Oh, man, he was PC'd. He was, you know, like next to him. So when we shot the wheelers, he would do the Andy Griffin show. He would whistle, and I would shoot my line. Shoot. So that's how we're doing the information. We wouldn't even talk on the tier. He would always sing that. He would whistle that song. So anyhow, you know, I would play I go out to the yard. I was there on that yard for about a couple of weeks, bro. I think more than a couple of weeks. But each time I go out there, I would grab information. So Green Eyes be like, hey, what's up? On the wheelers. Hey, John, what's up, man? The homies are like, how come we didn't hear the bells ring and all that? All the keys running and all that. So I said, bro, just hold on, man. You know, I'm gonna take care of it, man. Well, me and Sting, you know, his last name's Banuelos, I think. You know, and if I'm not mistaken, and he ended up taking a liking to me, bro. When we started talking, bro, homeboy started exposing all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? You know, if you guys don't know, he had a brother, and you know, he ended up getting hit, and it was you know, Mateo, you know, Matt Rocha from Salinas. You know, that was one of his cases. And, no, let me rephrase, I don't know if it was one of his cases, but he was involved with that, you know what I mean? So, because he had a lot of cases, and we're talking about, everybody knows Mateo, and I met him for a while, you know what I mean? That's a good-ass dude, and it's unfortunate to hear what's going on with this stuff from the, you know, from the state. You know, and what was going on with him, because that guy, man, he's been solid from the beginning. When he was even like a 9, when he was just, you know, growing up in the city of Salinas, man, that's a good ass dude. Him and his brother-in-law, Baki. You know what I mean? Anyhow, Steve's telling me the story, and he tells me, hey, have you talked to Green Eyes? I said, what Green Eyes? He goes, hey, bro, he's on the team with you. I said, nah, I ain't talking to none of them vatos. Man, fuck them vatos, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They want to, you know, put me in the head and all that. I ain't got time for all that. I'm with you guys, man. Fuck it. Not just me and Steve talking, and he's telling me about Reaper, man, that how Reaper attitude and how he conducts himself, man. He's this dude. He got the cold-ass way of thinking. I go, that's how these fucking degenerates act, you know what I mean? These dudes are, you know, against, man, literally, they have all this animosity, bro. Like, you look at the way you act, bro, you're not even tripping, bro. I mean, you don't like it. I don't like it, but what can we do? Well, anyhow, he's telling me a story about Green Eyes. Now, remember, I'm just filtering all this information. Sting doesn't know what I'm going to do or what's going on with me. So I'm thinking, I'm sucking with all the information that he's given. He tells me a story about Green Eyes. He goes, hey, Bo, Green Eyes likes to drink, Bo. He's a slush, you know what I mean? And he don't know how to hold his liquor, you know? He goes, hey, Bo, I had got him, up in one of the, right there in Monterey County, in Salinas, because remember, Sting is from Greenfield, but it's all the same thing right there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he says, hey, but one time, after that happened, after my brother got hit, and I'm telling you, with my bail and blah, 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 he goes, I had snatched up Green Eyes, I played him smooth out of pocket, went and drank and all that, and Green Eyes exposed everything to me. Matter of fact, I ended up leaving somewhere in the field somewhere. I go, what did you do? Did you fuck him up? Now, we got him and whooped him, and then I go, how come you didn't kill him? He goes, nah, I was just extracting information. He was telling me all this information about my brother and about Mateo. And he exposed all the chocolate, all the goods to him. I said, well, I just left him there, left him up butt naked, dignified, you know what I mean? Just here you go. I said, what? No, you didn't. Stop lying, bro. I don't believe that. So he was like, nah, bro. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, damn. I believe what Sting is telling me. What business does he have to lie? And I could just go by what his word. What's the odds? Here I am dealing with Green Eyes. So I'm like, what? So I go back to the cell, and here I am communicating with Green Eyes. So now I'm feeling some type of way now, because I'm just dealing with Green Eyes. I can't get it. From my understanding, I'm not able to get on the tip because I'm going to expose my hand, because you got another homeboy that's on the PC yard right there with us. You know what I mean? And then I know Nichols is right there, right across, down from me. I could just shoot a line to him. But I said, man, I'm going to blow up the whole thing. So I'm like, man, how can Green Eyes do that? He just exposed everything to Sting back then on Mateo. And I'm just thinking about Mateo, the whole situation. I'm like, wow. I said, all right, well, I got something for that. You know what I mean? I'm going to put that in my pocket for later on. And so finally, man, it was time for me to go out to the yard. And, I'm already, I wasn't pumping myself up. I was just trying to extract whatever information I could from, all them clowns, you know what I mean? And I ended up going out to the yard, and I was talking to Sting. I had got a razor, and hooked up the razor with matter of fact, whatchamacallit, I had already hooked up with it for me. Green Eyes, they cut it now with the cardboard from the handle and all that for the milk cartons and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I snuck it out, and I had it on me. I went out, and I was talking to Sting, and Reaper every time would sit in the back of the yard by the handball wall, and he was always posted up right there. Well, Reaper was always, he never turned his back, you know what I mean, no matter what, but he was comfortable with me, so I went over there, I started talking to him, and he was like, hey, Chong, now it's Chongs. It ain't Chango, or, it's Chongs, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? I got this dude's confidence. So I go, hey, Bo, aren't you hot, Bo? So I'm looking at him. I'm sizing him up. I'm trying, where am I going to hit this dude? And the homeboy said, man, make sure you hit him in the face, you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, and so I ended up, so me and Reaper started shooting the shit for a minute, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at, I'm trying to get some we're all getting some sun, so even though I know it's a wrap, that's why I'm going to do it. And I'm waiting for, like, towards the end of the yard, and next thing you know, Reaper gets comfortable, and I said, "Bro, man, it's hot, bro. Aren't you tired of standing up, bro?" And I had the razor right on the side of my hand. He didn't see it. I had it tucked, and so I squatted down, and he's still standing up. I'm right next to him, and I ended up squatting down. So he squatted down. You know what I mean? So we're talking for a minute. Me and him are talking, and I looked at his homeboy, man. He's from Fresno too. He's on the side. He's talking to the Tejano, and the old timer. I forgot his name, man. And Sting is to the side too. So it's just me and Reaper in the corner. I said, "Hey, Bo, man, I gotta hit the manguera. You know what I mean? I gotta take a piss." And he's like, "All right, go handle your business, Bo." Well, he was still sitting, squatting down. So when I got up, I ended up getting him right there when he was sitting down. I grabbed the razor and I just sliced at him, wham, wham, and he fell. And, like, he fell down and he started leaking. So I was going to get him again, but he fell down. So I kicked him a couple times, but he's on the floor. So I looked, and not Reaper, Sting looks at me like in shock. And his homeboy looks, and just everything was like in slow motion, bro. I turned around, I looked, and I just started walking. Just all, real cool. I didn't make a scene, I didn't get loud, nothing. Right when I'm going to the shower, to where the toilet's at, and his homeboy is looking at Reaper, homeboy from Fresno, looks at Reaper, and then Reaper says, "This motherfucker, you fucking motherfucker." Now I got my back turned because now I'm already there to the toilet. Man, I got that thing. I flushed it, and I look now. Now I'm posted now by the wall right there by the toilet, but I'm out of the box. You've been on the 6-yard, right, bro?
Yeah. I've been to both 6 yards, old one and new.
Okay, well, you know how they have that little block right there where they have the bathroom?
Yeah, like
the shower thing?
Yeah, they almost looks like
there's a little,
like the ones that they have in the big yards in those old prisons.
Right. Yeah, exactly the same. Well, it's a little box right there, and everybody knows what I'm talking about if you've been there,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm posted right there. I said, okay, well, I should have, I already hit him, but I should have just kept going, but I said, what? I looked, he's coming this way. I was like, oh, I should have just kept stomping on him. That way, if I would have got jumped, I would have got, because I don't know what they have either, But anyhow, man, the gunner sees Reaper leaking, and the gunner says, "Hey," and that gunner is in the 90s, in the early 90s. I forgot that gunner's name, but he don't play. He's an old timer.
Oh yeah.
And if you've been there, you know who I'm talking about, man. I forgot his name, man, but he's quick. And back then it was it was a warning. They'll give you a warning shot, but if they see a weapon or see blood or anything, this dude right here will blast you. But I'm already in the cut. He said, "Get down, get down," and he looks at me. He goes, hey you, get down." I said, "Get down? I'm not gonna get down. Why? What's going on?" He goes, and Reaper's halfway through the yard. No, the yard's small, but he's halfway, and then everyone's getting down, and Reaper's yelling, pointing at me, "That motherfucker right there, that motherfucker right there. It was him. So all of a sudden, You hear the thing, and
Yeah.
then the keys are coming. Here comes everybody. You know how they do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A situation happens, all the COs start running. All you hear the keys, cheer, and they lay the whole east block down. I mean, all the yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to make sure, So they come, they cuff me up, and Reaper already told on Leo, and it ain't his first rodeo. So they chain me up. Cuff me up. They put me in one of them cages, right there in East Block.
Mm-hmm.
And Reaper, they put me in one cage, and they put Reaper like 2 cages. You know how they have that yard, that whole aisle with cages?
Yeah.
Like when you go to, anyhow, when you're going to visit or whatever.
Yeah.
So Reaper's like two cages down, and he's like, "You fucking motherfucker. What the fuck is wrong with him? He's fucking, cause he's making a big old thing." I said, man, shut your big ass up, you fucking motherfucker. All you do is fucking run your mouth. You know what I mean? Even though I shouldn't have said anything, I just couldn't. I usually, when I do something, I just do it and just take care of my business and boom. But remember, I had a lot of little animosity towards him for cutting my hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, and so, as much as disciplined I am and all that, I'm human, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit there and continue to, be a cell warrior, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shut your fucking bitch ass up. All you do is fucking grown ass man.
Mm-hmm.
40-something years old. Look at you fucking crying or whatever, you know what I mean? All you do is run your mouth. So anyhow, they came, they put me in, they take me to AC. And when I go to AC, here comes Wells and what's his name? Said his name already from IGI.
Miranda?
Yeah, Miranda. Hey. Well. These guys think they're so slick. They think they can shoot the shit with us. You know what I mean? They can if you're non-active, if you're PC. You know what I mean? But you're not at the time. You're not gonna shoot the shit with me like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, so what happened? Hey, where's the weapon? And blah blah blah. So I'm like, man. So they ended up telling me, they're pissed. They are pissed, especially Wells, and he's like, yeah, you motherfucker, huh? Yeah, I knew it, man. So I'm over here just looking. I'm laughing inside, right? So they come, they give me a 115, and they're talking about they're going to charge me, and they're going to give me a referral and all that. I said, a referral, and then they're talking about at the time, they're going to prosecute me, and then plus remember, this dude already got hit, and they're going to talk about they're going to pull me back to, even though it's going to happen here, they're going to have the prosecutor from San Jose, the Kitty, and the husband and wife, man, that were prosecuting the homies from
Kitty and Charles.
San Jose. Who?
Kitty.
Charles, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Kitty and Charles. Yeah, and I'm like, what? Oh, no, man. You know what I mean?
They're gun ho, bro.
Man, I could have had a pedazzo, and I might as well kill the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'll get it. You know what I mean? and I should have just slashed his throat. Anyhow, they're going to charge me. So they said they're going to have to give me a DA referral first or something. I don't know. And so what I did was I had a private investigator, not a private investigator. When they ask you if I want assistance and all that.
They give you a correctional officer, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I said, yeah. So they told me, hey, you want to give up your rights and all that, process and all that. I said, yeah, go ahead, and we're gonna take it. If I got to sit here for a while, boom, so they can have that more investigation on that. So give them more time. So I played it. I played them. I said, yeah, go ahead. Well, remember, like a week later, I shoot a wheeler to my investigator, the cop. I told him, hey, I want to pull my right back. You know what I'm saying? And he's all right. I want a speedy process. Well, he did. Well, as the time went on, well, they had 90 days to charge me. Well, it went over the 90 days, and I beat it. They just gave me the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They couldn't give me no more other time. The prosecutor couldn't because I waived my rights and I pulled my thing back. So I ended up, basically getting away with it. You know what I mean? So I went back to Pelican Bay and, got at, the fellas and all that. And then...
so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, right? So both these hits you had to do, right?
Yeah.
Angel Spencer and
yeah.
Reaper, right? You were undercover. You were undercover NF member, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
But you had to comply with whatever an NR Soldado of Authority gave you the directives, right?
Oh, of course. Even though these things are coming, yeah, of course, yeah.
Just to play the role, right? So no one. When were you finally exposed and came out of being undercover? I'm kind of curious on that.
Oh, bro, that didn't happen till like later on, like 96.
Now, did even Green Eyes know?
You know what I mean?
Did Green Eyes know that you were undercover?
No, Green Eyes didn't know. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So only
a lot of canales didn't even know. Everybody just knew that I was an NR member. And that I was a real strong NR member. You know what I mean?
See.
And I got exposed. I'll tell you who exposed. It was at the time with Chico, DB. You know what I mean?
Dancing Bear. Okay.
And because I guess because it was already. But I didn't know none of this. And I remember because what's his name? Tex. I guess someone a while back. I don't know if you feel better because this is how I know these guys. I talk to them like I would say Tiz, but I would always call him Tiberius. And a lot of people don't know him by Tiberius. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just like DC, I used to just call him David.
Yeah.
And certain people, but when I was talking about the times I've been telling the stories. A guy, one of the comments said, "Well, who's he talking about? Terrible T? He thought I was talking about the Abeja, the AB. No, well, I'll just keep Tex. But I always call him Terrible T. And anyhow, what was the question here about?
Well, no, I thought it was kind of interesting that you being an undercover C, you would step into a household. And there would be an NR member there. You'd have more rank than him, of course, a status, but he wouldn't know that, so you had to comply with his orders.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something, bro. That's what I'm telling you. I never played that. I didn't walk, hey, I'm a canal. Even when I was a canal, when I got exposed, I just fell right in line. I'll give you an example. Like DB is the one because Tex said this because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, Tibbs. Tiberius ended up getting that text, you know what I mean? And but remember, I was already hooked, like I told you before, I was hooked up with all these canales, looking out, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then I guess it was exposed amongst certain canales, not all of them.
Makes sense.
Just certain canales, you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
And then I guess text ended up getting that DB, and DB was like, "Hey, look, man, listen, this is how we're gonna do it. And he exposed me, with Chico and Rico, and you know what I mean? Because I was a strong sympathizer. You know what I mean? That eventually I'd probably be a canal. You know what I mean? Because even this, watch this, bro. I'm not trying to switch topics. You know what I mean? I'm already done with the thing with Reaper, but when I think it was 90, I think it was 96, man. Yeah, it's around when DB was out. He had just got out. And then I guess we had hooked up with, he goes, he's going to hook up with, not Rico. I was already talking to Rico and all them. Goose, Garcia. And we went to the House of Pizza, right there on the west side. That's the hangout. Good pizza right there. I don't know if you've ever been there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But, Goose gets there, and then, we're having a hookah, and they're, talking about dude, you know what I mean? Sheldon, and Goose says that he had, and remember at the time, we were separated. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As far as, we had Cadillos, we had this crew over here, this regiment, the Salinas regiment, and then Goose and things were over with Dude, Sheldon. And when we're talking, DB said, Rudy said, hey, what's up, Goose? He goes, they start talking. I'm sitting right there, and then Goose says, hey, Bo, why is Chango here? He's all, what do you mean, why is he here? You know what I mean? He goes, well, why can't he be here? He goes, well, we're talking about, canal business. He goes, hey, Bo, listen, Chango's a canal, And Goose is all, what? He goes, yeah, he's been a canal. You know what I mean? He goes, he's functioning, and, and he's been demonstrating and so forth. And he goes, oh, I didn't know that. He goes, well, are you supposed to know that? You know what I mean? And that's when, at the same time, that's when Roach came down too, from Frisco.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so Goose was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So then me and Goose started talking, but I didn't, listen, not that I didn't trust Goose. It's not that I don't trust the Canales, you know what I mean? We got an objective. But remember, I'm on the streets. I'm dealing with a lot of people. Remember, I never burned my bridges, bro, with the neighborhood dope dealers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's the only way I can say it. And remember a lot of homeboys that were slinging dope, where the KJ, the crank and all that at the time.
We're running from the
They were
Canales.
like leery.
They were running from.
They were leery.
Hell yeah, they were.
What?
They were running, bro. They'd make every excuse. They'd make every excuse not to contribute, bro. Every excuse, bro.
Right. And look at and they were leery of dealing with, the Canales, because they didn't want to get in the hat. They didn't want to, get hit because of what happened in the past.
Yeah.
And that's why I told you before. There's been a lot of bloodshed. There's a lot of hurt. A lot of kids that didn't like, the Canales. You know what I mean? Because of what happened in the past. And so, as far as, especially with families and even the regular, like I said. So, with me, dealing with the local drug dealers, they felt comfortable with me. Now, Goose, I always used to hear, hey, but remember, now, the neighborhood dope dealers, I mentioned a couple names already, and
we all know who they are. We already know, like, you mean?
Right.
Most anybody from
Exactly,
anybody from our era knows who those people are.
Right, and then from San Jose, and I'll be honest with you, I'm grateful. At the time, as far as they trusted me, but they would tell me about Goose. Now remember, these homies don't know that I'm a canal, so I always kept hearing about Goose, doing it, especially my homeboy Gil, Gil, man, he was paranoid, he was tripping out.
Which Gil?
But Oh man, it's from the west side, man. But anyhow, watch this. Well, I can explain a little bit.
Oh yeah.
That's later on.
We've been on for about an hour, anyways. You know what I mean?
Have we?
Yes.
Have we?
Yeah, we've been on for an hour, bro.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, anyhow, I'm just giving you the how things happen with individuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How they don't want to deal with certain individuals because of their status and the way, especially not even their status, the way they act like bullies. They push their weight
Bro,
around. You know what I mean?
I agree, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to do the same thing, bro. And I you know, I kept it real. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that these dudes were like punks or nothing, or they weren't hitters. It's because of what I represented, who I was, what I was. It wasn't because of who I was that complied. You know what I'm saying? So I'd have to try to finesse. Those were people that I didn't know. But people that knew me, I was kind of like the same way as you. You know, like me and you talked about how we used to run our businesses back then. You know what I mean? We didn't run off of greed. We ran off of longevity. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could win. But yeah, I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know, it's funny. You know, after all that, you know, and like I already explained the thing when I got blasted, and I was just recently I talked to two different people, right?
Yeah.
You know, recently, man, that gave me nothing but love. You know what I mean? That have nothing but respect for me, and it's right back into them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thankful. Okay, one, I grew up with them. You know what I mean? Since I was young. You know what I mean? Even when I was out there tagging and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and he was telling me, hey, Bo, I'll tell you something, man. I always liked your stilo, man. You know, you started, you know, tagging, and you know, you started gang banging, you know, and you know, just went that life. You know, he said, man, you didn't have a chance, man, and the choices you made, but he said, but you were always fair, bro. Even you had this knowledge when you were young. And then the second homeboy, you know, I was talking to him, and I said, you know, he brought you know, certain things to me, and he said, I told him, you know what, Bo, even after I got blasted and I was out there, like, you know, when me and you talked about how, you know, you guys were trying to get me and so forth, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thankful to still be, even though I wasn't active, everybody knew my situation.
Yeah.
As far as I was deemed no good, right?
Yep,
right?
and they all messed with you
As
too.
far as, what's that, bro?
And a lot of them did not feel right about that situation, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wasn't.
But listen, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Bro, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was thankful that even though a lot of boys knew my situation, but they didn't know what happened. They just knew I got blasted. And like you said, a lot of people didn't feel, they had a bad taste in their mouth, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I was thankful to this when I was in the game, as far as after the fact, still, you know, selling drugs and, you know, dipping and dabbing. That's what I mean by doing that, dipping and dabbing. I was still embraced by the local drug dealers. You know, knowing that I was in bad standards with the NF. You know what I'm saying?
For 3 years.
But
For 3 years you were.
Yeah.
Until you got locked up.
Yeah, and these guys still, and I'm telling you, you know, you guys know, all you guys know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank you guys, you know what I mean? And the ones that believed in me to still do things, and knowing, even after the fact, they know, even the regular, even the homeboys from the shoe, you know, that VHS gang, them, you know, the regular drug dealers that I was dealing with, they know that I didn't tell on them. Yeah, I cooperated after the fact when I came back to, you know, when I got busted in the county jail, but I cooperated and talked about DNF. You know, there ain't no homeboy could say that they got indicted. As far as, I'm not trying to justify it, I'm talking about the homies. You know, from the neighborhood, from my neighborhood, yeah. or just San Jose, or even the other. We're always talking about Santa Clara County, but don't forget it that when I was doing my thing, when I was non-active, I was still moving and grooving. You know, city to city. You know, Stockton, Sacramento, you know, San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? And still doing things. Nevada, certain, Oregon, Washington. So none of them people know that I didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it made me feel good that they could still, deal with me and not worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyhow,
man,
I just want to thank all them people. You know what I mean?
Man,
and the ones that
give me the
stood
shout
by
outs.
me, not for war, but still fuck with me tough. Especially I could put them out there. Not because he's my cousin Ed. But yeah, and then my homie from the horseshoes. You know what I mean? They stood still by me, and not for war, but just kicking it with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody knows my homeboy, Caballo, Mario, and my other homeboy that I used to kick it real tough with. You know what I mean? We go way back. He knows who he is. As a matter of fact, I just talked to him. You know what I'm saying? And we had a hell of a conversation. You know what I mean? It felt good, bro. After 20 years, still had that love. Shit, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? But in the future, I'll expose all that. My transition and what the things I went through. Like I said, going to the feds and going to Oklahoma and then going to ADX for a minute. You know what I mean? And sitting there for a while. You know what I mean? Until they try to figure out where they're gonna house me.
Yeah.
But if you have any more questions, Bo.
No, this one was perfectly ended, man. I can't. We ventured off a little bit, but some things have to be ventured off, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yes. I got so much stuff, boy. And
I don't know, brother.
You're right, Bo.
You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, sometimes you gotta let it out, bro, and just speak your truth, because I know you want to let people know how you feel about. You know what I mean? It's always good to know that there's people, regardless of what you've done, they still fucking going to show that love and that respect and whatnot, or just regardless of what's being said. That's a big key, bro. That when people still rock with you, you know what I'm saying? Someone asked me that question in the comments too, man. But we'll elaborate on that earlier. They said, it must be harder to be from a solid hood like Horseshoe than being from a small town like where I'm from. I'm like, man, it doesn't matter where you're from. Either people are going to rock with you or not, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times these bigger hoods, believe it or not, this is what people don't realize. You're safer in your own neighborhood when you get labeled a dropout sometimes than you are, you know what I'm saying, in other areas, because a lot of times the homeboys know who you are and what you're about and what you've done. So therefore, they're going to judge you based upon that, not upon the prison politics, because everybody knows the prison politics is bullshit. We all know that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, much love to Chango, man. Hey, he comes on here. He's transparent. He's real. He speaks with his emotions. And this is the messages that we need to hear, man. I appreciate you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
No problem, bro.
Let me end this real quick, brother.
You take it easy, bro. Yeah,